Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this Christmas card making project. In this episode we're going to make kind of a quick card using the gorgeous Christmas toppers from Anna, the vintage holiday toppers. And we're going to use one or two other things, but ultimately we're going to build a gorgeous Christmas card that won't take you much time. But there is this kind of stamping technique in there. Everything I do use I should put in a detailed list on my blog. Please check it out. Sometimes there's links against products, sometimes there isn't. It just depends, not if the product's available, but it just depends if it's still, there's a picture of it. Because some of the products will link through to HSN, some of them won't, they'll link through to other sites. So it's just the case of, if I can put a link, I can. If there isn't one, then there isn't one available. So please check out the blog because there's lots of information on there, there's lots of pictures and there's lots of projects as well. Please feel free to share my projects. If you've ever got any comments, please feel free to comment. I can't reply to you on YouTube because there's a glitch on my account and my replies go missing. But I can reply to you on my blog and Facebook. I am a bit slow, so bear with me. So there we go. Housekeeping over. Now we can create. The base card I'm using is one of Anna's pretty Christmas card bases. Now this is 7x5 in size, or 5x7 for my friends across the pond, and it's my favourite size to work with, and I think it's just so pretty for a base card. Now even though it's a professional card, it's been professionally created, I am still going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got that nice sharp score along the edge to ensure that our card will stand up perfectly. And now we can create the inside. Now I think the inside of this card is very pretty, very simple, and there's a great stamping technique. Now for our base layer of our inside, I've taken one of Anna's stamps from the 39 clear Christmas stamps, and it's a holly border. I've stamped it twice along the portrait edge rather than the landscape edge. And I've stamped it twice and I've used a permanent red ink in cherry because then I've watercoloured the holly leaves in. And then I've just taken some ink around the edge just to blend it slightly. And I just think it's such a good technique. Now for all those eagle-eyed viewers, you can see I'm so economical with my cardstock. I've used one of the card fronts for a card previously that we've had. And this is the back of it, because this is the section where you normally write your name. So you see I am being frugal with my cards and I am recycling. So now I can insert our stamp section. I've put flat double-sided tape on the back of it and I can press it down. Now already without a sentiment or without anything else, the inside of that card looks so pretty. Now that technique could be used with so many different stamps and it could be used for every occasion. If you can imagine using a swirl leaf and the same colours for a wedding card, that would look so pretty. But on our card, we're doing it for Christmas. So we've got another layer to go in on the inside. Now this again is from Anna's pretty Christmas card bases. And this is the smaller size of card. And I've just taken the outer section of the card away. So I'm left with a card base. And then I've stamped it with the words, "May your Christmas be merry and bright." And that again is from the 39 clear Christmas stamps. And I've just used the same cherry permanent ink for the sentiment. And again, I've got this on double-sided flat tape on the back so that I can just peel the back of this away and I can add this to the inside and it will fit just between the stamped borders like so. So it's just as if I've planned it. And there we go. We have enough space for our messages, our to and from, and a little simple I'm sorry I haven't been to see you, or I haven't heard from you for ages, how are you, etc. for your message. And then if you're wanting to write an essay, obviously, you know, you might need more space, you might want to do it on a separate piece of paper. But that, for an insert for a card, we've got the foil and the stamping. Oh, it's just so pretty. Really nice. So now we can go to the outside of our card. I'm going to use my bone folder again, just to make sure that edge is nice and sharp. Now, this is where the quickness comes along. If it wasn't for me talking all the time, then you'll just throw it together and think, oh wow, that looks great. So on the top of our base of the card, I've taken a large die cut of holly. I've used Anna's satin card, which I must interrupt myself. I get so many people asking me, oh, what did you use? What was that you used? I always go into great length on the blog. If you share something, please sort of say, you know, don't just share it, just sort of say, everything Anne-Marie uses is on the blog. Because so many people come back to me and say, oh, what was that made from? And I always think, well, it's on the blog, so check it. Does that make sense? Maybe I'm rambling. Anyway. So I've used Anna's satin cardstock in the gold for this, and I've embossed it as well as die cut it. I've got a little bit of flat tape in various places behind the holly leaves, and I'm just going to position it through the centre of the card and then press it down. Now, it's not all stuck. It's just, you know, only stuck through places in the centre, because it gives it a kind of feeling that, you know, it gives it shadows. And she says, pressing it down, there we go, it gives it a few shadows when the edges lift, I think. So next I've taken 2 of Anna's flourishes. Now I've done something a little bit different with these. Now these are flourish stickers, and what I've done is at one side of the flourish sticker I've added 3D foam, and at the other side of the flourish sticker I've left it as the flourish. So I simply peel the back away, and then I'm going to add one of the flourishes towards the corner of the card, and then the second flourish that I've done exactly the same with. So half of it is still sticker at one side, and then half of it has 3D foam on. I'm just going to add that to the kind of bottom at the opposite side of the card. So I can press it down on the flat surface, on the flat sections, and then we've got the shadowing from the swirls at the other side that have got 3D foam underneath it. Next, I've got 2 rosettes. Now, the rosettes that I've got are the pre-made ones from Anna, and I've also got one of the vintage toppers from the selection from Anna. Now, I'm going to turn this over and show you and explain about my foam pads, because I've got foam pads on the back of it, but I've got them in 2 high. Now, this is because we're using the rosettes, and the rosettes are slightly higher than 1 row of foam pads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the rosettes in the 2 areas that I want to place them, and that's where I've got a little bit of flat tape just to hold them in place. And the rosettes themselves, now normally I would have double-sided tape on the back of them, but I've got to tell myself off because I've not prepped this very well, so I'm very naughty, and I forgot to put the double-sided tape on the back of the rosette. So I've just put a little bit of glue, and you can see the double foam pad layer through the centre, and I'm just going to position this through the centre of my card and press it down, trying to keep it nice and straight. There we go. And That looks quite straight to me. Now you can see where the rosettes sat, the centre of the topper, where it's got the 2 rows of foam on, will sit nice and flush against the rosettes. So it's just the case of have a look, measure your rosettes up against your topper to make sure it doesn't go wibbly wobbly. So now we can finish off our card with a little red bow over the top of the red bow that's already on the sentiment to make it look like it's a double bow. And actually, before I press that down, I'm always asked about how I attach them. So it's 3D foam just on the back of the little bow sides, and then just press it down like that, and makes it look like a double bow on the side of the card. So I'll make sure everything's pressed down, and that is our card finished. So we've got lots of layers, and everything just works so well together with the topper, the flourishes, the swirls, the rosettes, and then the inside just so pretty again, matches with the colours, stands up nicely. Now you can see how it would be a quick card if it weren't for me chattering. You can see all the layers, so it works so well, and I love the robin. So I hope this has given you a little bit of inspiration of how to use your vintage toppers. Maybe you have to make a Christmas card in a hurry. Maybe you have to make lots of them in a hurry. And I think this can be nearly thrown together because it just works so well. And I love the gold on it again with the colours. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next time.